Hi everybody, it's Ashley from Wanderlux, your bestie for all things luxury travel and lifestyle, and today we are talking about the Plunge All-In. This is the cold plunge tub, the all-in model that has the motor connected into the plunge itself, and I'm going to take you through all the goods and bads. We've had it for about 8 months, so I can talk to what we like and what we don't like, so you can decide if it's the right one for you. Okay, starting with the looks, this thing looks really nice. It is like a one sleek piece. I have the chemical kit here and things to show you, but this is what it looks like. It has a cover similar to like a hot tub cover to keep it insulated. You can see that it is quite large. It fits like full, fits full lounging for even tall people. It has these connector straps that you can tie down the cover so that it doesn't blow away in the wind. You can use the plunge indoor or outdoor. We use ours outdoor. I honestly can't imagine putting it inside because I feel like it would, I feel like it would splash everything everywhere, but this is what it looks like. This is the motor or the fan in here, and then you have kind of outlet and access points on either side. This is the display screen. So you control the temperature here. You can turn on the light. You might see the light just turned on here. So it has a light in here, which is nice if you're going to use it in the early mornings or the evenings, just to give you a little extra vibes there. You can also pause it. So if you want to pause the motor and filter while you're in it, that keeps the jets from blowing against your back and your legs. So if you want to pause it, it has like a 15, 30, 45, and 60-minute pause, I think. And then you have your Wi-Fi connect button here. There is a Plunge app. I find it to be fairly annoying, honestly. One of the big complaints that I have is that you can't have multiple people have profiles in the app, and you can only tie the plunge to one particular person's account. So originally my husband and I both set up the Plunge app and then tried to pair our plunge to our apps. But then as soon as one would connect, it would disconnect the other person's access. So now we both share his account, but that means that our plunges are tracked together, and it just feels like a functionality that really should exist. So anyway, moving on. So this is the plunge full of water. We have a little bromine releaser that we bought on Amazon just to keep the water at a good chemical level. They do send you with this maintenance box, or this might be a separate purchase, I'm not totally sure, but it comes with the filters that you have to change, chemicals, a test strip, and this skimmer, which we have found there to be some just buildup and crud that gets in the tub, so you do have to do some maintenance on it. It is like a large appliance. So keep that in mind. I've drained the water, I think 2 times in the time that we've had it. We use it a few times a week. And I was noticing that it was getting like some scum around the edges and stuff. So I drained it. I had to like scrub it down, sanitize it with bleach before I refilled it and stuff. And you can see like it gets little dirt and dust. So if you're using it outside, I would definitely recommend putting down like a mat or something so that you're not tracking in dust or dirt or sand or rocks or something, because it makes it really difficult to clean without draining the whole thing. Now to fill it up, it's actually quite easy. You connect this to a hose, like a garden hose. This is a carbon filter, and you have to let the water run through here for about an entire minute before you start putting it in your plunge. Now, I didn't do this originally, and what happened is then the whole bottom of the plunge was full of like carbon dust, essentially. And it's so fine that it was impossible to get out until I drained the tub and could wipe it out with a rag. So there are these little things that you have to kind of be careful about, unless you just don't care that much, which is also fine. It's not like it changed the functionality or anything. This is where your filter lives, so you don't want to open this unless you have the thing off, or else water will start bubbling up. I did that accidentally one time. The main complaint that I see on forums and things about this model is that people say this is really difficult to get placed correctly and to have it like secured in where it's airtight. I do agree with that. It is finicky, it's hard to place, and if you don't get it in correctly, then all the water will drain out of your plunge. And they are pretty strict about the warranty and stuff, so people have had a difficult time getting it repaired and replaced when that happens if they did not follow the instructions just perfectly. So don't fight it. You have to try multiple times to get the filter to sit correctly in the the spot for it, and you have to push this in really tight, tighten it up before you take it off. So you have to just be careful with the filter, or else you will run into some issues. We never took this off. This is what the instructions come with, and it truly is like you just fill it up and you turn it on and you set your temperature. That's about all you have to do. And then to drain it, you open up this, this little door, and you attach a garden hose to it, and then you essentially like open the spigot. I tried to do this with the garden hose, and I don't know if it was a gravity issue or what, but it wouldn't actually drain. So at some point then I just unhooked the garden hose and I just drained the water out, and I was a little afraid that it was going to mess up the internal components and things, but based on, how the angle of our patio and stuff, it was fine. It just drained out, never got to the point where it was like backing up into the unit or anything, but that's one thing to note, I suppose. I truly am not sure how you would drain this if you were using it inside. This goes out onto our backyard, so I was just able to drain it like that, but that's something to definitely pay attention to. And then lastly, you have to think about how are you going to plug this thing in. Plunge says that you can plug it into a regular outlet. We ended up having to run a dedicated circuit for this, which increased the cost by several $100s. And but the closest outlet that we had available to us was going to be overloaded if we plugged it in, so I ended up going with getting its own circuit. So here it is. Overall, would I recommend it? Absolutely. It makes us cold plunge, and we definitely did not before. It's always ready when we want it. We don't have to do any prep for it. I would say the only other complaint that I have is that it doesn't reset itself when the power goes out. And we live in an area where the power goes out frequently. So when that happens, I have to come out and manually turn it back on, which isn't such a big deal. But the annoying thing is that it does not remember your temperature setting. So what I found was that when you turn it on, it has a default temperature of around 70, I think. And you have to then manually set it. I suppose you can probably do this in the app as well. But I've had some difficulty getting it to stay connected to the Wi-Fi as well. So I come out and manually do it. So you have to reset the temperature to your desired temperature every time. And let's see. I think those are really all of my feedback and things. I do think it's definitely it's expensive, so you have to take that into account. But if you're the kind of person that wants it to be always on, ready to go, it's beautiful. If you have the space and the money for it, 100%, I definitely recommend it.